I'm 21 years old and I am registered to vote in Georgia.
23 years old and I am registered to vote in
I feel a sort of responsibility.
I don't trust our system.
Marietta, Georgia.
State of Michigan.
I think it's going to be a close one.
So I'm disillusioned in general.
I'm 17. I'll be 18 October.
I'm politically active from my couch.
For the presidential election, I'm honestly not sure yet.
Gen Z is a pivotal demographic this election, and who they vote for could swing the whole thing. We conducted a first-of-its-kind poll to find out where their heads are at.
It is locked in. I am voting for Kamala Harris.
Obviously, Donald Trump, I think, would be, if not close to the end of our democracy, if he is elected president again.
50% of registered Gen Z voters support Harris, in comparison to 34% who support Trump.
I trust her.
In addition to the poll, we spoke to Gen Zers in swing states across the country, and a lot of them said this election changed for them when President Biden stepped aside.
Ever since Kamala stepped up to the plate, I've seen like a whole new energy.
At the start of the election, I was really worried with Kamala. I'm kind of excited. It's something new. She's young.
And age is important to young voters, with 73% supporting setting a maximum age limit for candidates to be eligible to run for president.
A candidate that is almost 80 years old has no idea what it's like to be in my shoes.
I think it should be across the board. I think when it comes to Congress, they also need age limits. We have several people on both sides of the aisle who I think belong in a nursing home at this point.
I think it's also good to bring in younger people with fresh ideas.
And young voters are participating in the political process, but not in the ways older generations might think. Many of the main ways they participate, unsurprisingly, are online, with about a third saying they've done things like unfollow people and shared opinions or news articles on social media.
I don't have like the largest social media platform, but I do have an influence. So I try to share as many posts as I can to my story. I talk to my friends.
So I haven't unfollowed anyone. I've muted people because I didn't want to be too petty.
32% say they've also boycotted a product or a company.
I boycott products if I don't agree with the mission of the brand.
I've decided to try and avoid as much as possible the list of companies that have supported Israel.
Of the issues Gen Zers said mattered the most to them right now, 8% of Gen Zers said it was the Israel-Hamas war, tied in fourth with healthcare and crime and safety. Next is abortion and threats to democracy. But the number one issue, inflation and cost of living at 31%.
I hate to say it, but I am living paycheck to paycheck.
I still have to work a second job to pay my rent.
Over half said they think the country's economy is in a worse state today than last year. And 64% said it's much harder for them to own a home compared to their parents' generation.
My parents bought their first house, and it was I could have afforded it with my current income. What they bought their first house for, I feel forgotten about.
A similar percentage said the U.S. is headed in the wrong direction. But despite that, a majority still said they were at least a little proud to be an American. And several young voters told us they're ready to make an impact this November.
I am so stoked to vote.
Being in a swing state, yes, I do think that my vote makes a difference.
I'm excited to vote, and I don't think this election could be any more important.
Georgia was won by less than 20,000 votes. I want to say my undergrad university had 40,000 students, so when you put it in that perspective, your vote really means a lot, and it does matter, and it can make a difference.